First editorial is very important, interesting. This editorial. India's police must get off Dirty Harris shadow. Chadavara? Sorry. Yes. So that article. So it is telling that in this article there are two methods for the interrogation. If there is some crime happened, you have to do the interrogation. So what kind of methods you use? Recently, what is the context of this article was, in Tamil Nadu, 2 days back, there is one custodial death. Custodial death. Have you watched that movie? Surya's movie. Jai Bhim. So the custodial death was happening in Tamil Nadu. So there is one temple security guard. So he was accused of thefting the gold. And he got beaten by the police and he died in the hospital. So that became like big wildfire in Tamil Nadu recently. So now the article was about the custodial deaths in India, and the article was written by Ashok Vardhan Sethi. He was a retired IAS officer. So what you guys think? Like, is it okay to use the torture while investigation?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes.
If you say yes, then you have to substantiate. If you say no, then you have to substantiate. Criminals won't open their mouth. Okay.
So
we have to. Okay. Yeah. Let him finish. Yeah. So what about you? Is it?
Oral evidence, evidence will not consider.
That's not considered to constitution as.
Use technology to find out investigate
Lie detection, polygraph, lie detection. But sometimes it won't work always, these technological things.
Not about lie detection.
So just give a simple answer. Will you support or don't support? Will you support the using force? Actually, he has given some metaphors here. This is very important. So the metaphors. So one method is Dirty Harry method. The other person is Dirty Harry, and another person was Sherlock Holmes. Two methods they have given. Sherlock Holmes and so Dirty Harry. How the Sherlock Holmes? You guys all watch the movie series. Agent Sai Srinivas Athreya. It's almost like Sherlock Holmes. So in that movie, even if you take that movie also, instead of using force or coercive techniques, so he uses logic, rationality, and evidential based investigation. Evidence based investigation. So that is the use of metaphor. There the police are using, they have two kinds of metaphor to investigate. One is Sherlock Holmes method, one is Dirty Harry method. Dirty Harry means it's a movie name. It's a movie name. In that movie, the officer was a CBI. It's an American movie. The officer was not CIA or NI, I still didn't remember. But he used the coercive methods. He used to torture, bedrinchata to get the information or whatever the things. So this is a coercive method. Yeah. Hit tree is perfect example. That's very good example. Yeah. So the using of coercive method, they use the metaphor Dirty Harry. So now the debate was which method is more suitable and why.
On paper, Sherlock Holmes method.
Not on paper or off paper. You have to.
My opinion, Dirty Harry is better.
Why? So if you become IPS officer, then you use Dirty Harry for sure.
100%.
But there are some Supreme Court judgments that you should not use these things.
Why will do it officially,
So
sir?
So they also didn't do officially. They didn't do in the police custody. So they took into some nearby shed or private area and they tortured that guy. But someone recorded. Yeah. Someone recorded and it went to the media and it became viral. So you should be careful. Yeah. So this is the difference. This is the difference of using the Dirty Harry method. In this thing, they clearly said, they clearly gave the references. So why this one was there? There is some custodial death happened. The name was Ajit Kumar in the recent Tamil Nadu police, and they have given some data in how many states in every week, how many custodial deaths are happening, like the Gujarat 81, Maharashtra 80 and all. These kind of things were happening. So what the law says about this? Does the Indian constitution encouraging these kind of Dirty Harry methods or not? As an exact procedure, there is nothing, any information regarding these kind of things in the constitution. But there are some certain Supreme Court judgments which it is telling that in the D.K. Basu case, they have given some safeguards for the convicts, and also the case Puttaswamy. In these both cases, they have given some judgments that how you have to behave with the accused. Even he is convicted, even he is found guilty. Even he is found guilty means what? Even it is proven. Even it is proven that he has done the crime. You should have he has some basic human rights, right? Yeah. You know the concept of natural rights of John Locke. Maybe you have read your NCRTs, right? In NCRTs, political theory, the book. Every person have natural rights. So there is a concept which available the NCRT in the political theory, the book you have this natural rights. Right to life, liberty and property. So, and also social contract. So these two principles are very important. So what does it mean then? Natural rights. These two principles were proponed by John Locke. He is one of the very famous, if you guys anyone take the PSI option, you have to read about this thinker. He is one of the very famous Western thinker, the John Locke. So he says, he proponed this theory, the natural rights. Because of these things only, the American Revolution came. French Revolution. These two revolutions are inspired with this John Locke.
What is this social contract?
Yeah, I will tell. So natural rights, in these natural rights, he says that a person is born with certain rights. When a person is born, he has some certain rights. He has right to life and liberty and also the property. Because according to that time, he added property also. That is his personal theory. But it is well accepted. And also social contract. Social contract theory means the subjects of the state. And as we are the citizens. We are the subjects of the state. We made a contract with our government that you have to take the welfare of us. Then we are giving the right to rule on us. So that is called the social contract. We made a unofficial, means not in the papers, but it is our contract, right? So he tells that this is the social contract which the people or the subjects they made with their respective governments. If the governments are not doing these welfare things, are not caring about their subjects, and they have every right to bring the revolution. They have every right to bring the revolution and they can remove the government from the power. So his principles inspired the so many revolutions, like the famous American revolutions and also the French Revolution. I think you finished your modern history, right? So in the modern history, you have the American and French Revolution, at least the synopsis. Not world history, modern history only. I am telling about the modern history only. Modern Indian history. So you'll have the synopsis of American Revolution and French. Yeah. How it impacted.
Industries.
So those are the basic things. So world history and the modern Indian history is very closely knitted. Means you have to read both. So in these both cases, the D.K. Basu case and the Puttaswamy case, Puttaswamy case. There is two Puttaswamy cases. This is the Puttaswamy case is about the custodial deaths. Make sure to remember in the prelims, the questions may come like this. The K.S. Puttaswamy, that is another Puttaswamy. Aadhar case, that is also called the Aadhar case, the famous. Yeah. So, and also the Law Commission of India's, in their report, they also mentioned that India should make a law, enact a law about the custodial torture. But until now, the parliament didn't enact any law on the custodial tortures. Because of this, in 2025, India is ranked as a high-risk country in the Global Torture Index. Global Torture Index law, India, because they don't have any laws for custodial torture, so India is ranked as a high-risk country. And what the research tells, so, okay, sir, he said, I will support the Dirty Harry methods. But what the research tells? The research tells these kind of methods comparing to the Dirty Harry methods. So the scientific methods work more better, more efficient also. So instead of using torture, even in the same case, the context which we are talking, in the Ajit Kumar's case. So to escape from the torture, he said that he accepted that I have committed the crime. But actually he didn't commit any crime. Just to escape the torture. So if he is not excused, then just imagine all the human rights, all his fundamental rights, all his basic rights were completely violated, right? Just imagine if he is born in a very prosperous, rich family. Then you should all see that JB movie. It's very good. It is very good ethical case studies. You can mention those movies, this kind of movies in ethics also. Yeah, easily you can mention movies in ethics. But it should be very much relevant and apt. Should not mention like, those kind of, fantasy type of movies you should not mention. So the conclusions, in the world, they have done some research on the custodial tortures, on the Algerian wars, on the CIA tortures. So they understood that comparing to the Dirty Harry method, the Sherlock Holmes method works much better and yield more accurate results. Accuracy is very important, right?
What is the index you mentioned?
What index? Global Torture Index. So that is the simple synopsis of this report. And this satellite is there from past 2 years in the news, not just today. From past 2 years in the news, this satellite was there. So what is this satellite? What exactly it does?
It clicks photos.
It clicks photos?
Tracks this
environmental changes. What N stands for? NASA? ISRO? Synthetic? Aperture? What is meant by synthetic? Artificial things are called synthetic, not lab made. Okay. You are from IIT, right? You should not say like that simply. All synthetics, he is coming from very reputed institute, right? We have to respect them. IIT Bombay. Yeah. So, what radar does? Also, what is the definition of the radar? Simple, right? It's 10th. It's a 10th class standard. We get this about the radar. We study about the radar. What the radar does.
Intercepts of maximum signals.
So, what is the function? How it does? UV rays. It's a radio waves. Radar. It spends in electromagnetic spectrum. Radio waves is also one of the wave which have high wavelength. So, radio detection and ranging. So, synthetic aperture radar and బాగా చెప్పారు. It's not the UV rays. No. He didn't say any. So, what exactly this synthetic aperture radar means? ఇప్పుడు మీరు జాగ్రత్తగా వింటే like in SNT, this part will cover. Okay? It will be easy for your SNT. So, is it satellite? Spoon. Spoon la unda? Mine. Okay. Actually, this curvature is the aperture. This is aperture. And here in the NISA, they don't have this kind of a big dish. So it was synthetically, they have artificially created that dish. So that's why it is called synthetic aperture radar. And this radar, what this radar will do? Intercept signals. It emits the radio waves. And when it is touched by one object, not human exactly, but some object. So it will bounce back. So based on the bounce back వచ్చే speed and the intensity of the radio waves, it will calculate what kind of and what size of object it is. So they are also similar kind of things. And also in the military, so we in our border we have the huge radar stations to detect the Pakistani jets and all. So everything uses the same thing. But this is also used for the imaging. So there are multiple types of satellites. Satellites lo chala rakalu untayi. So what kind of satellites you know?
Observation satellites.
Navigation. So satellite ante enti first?
Which revolves around. Satellites are revolves around. It's a natural satellite.
Something which rotates around the earth.
Not rotates around the earth. Not revolves around the earth. So an object which rotates in its own orbit or some celestial orbit, you can simply call it as a satellite. On its own it should. Yeah, on its own it should work. So satellites, when it comes to these satellites, so there are multiple types. The man-made satellites. So what kind of types? Earth observation satellites. And navigation means?
GPS. USA.
India Navic.
And other countries?
For Europe, there is a Magellan.
So Europe have Galileo and China's Baidu. These are the navigation satellites. And the navigation satellites usually in the very higher orbits, like the geo Earth orbit. So మీకు కొంచెం ఐడియా ఉందా? జియో ఎర్త్ ఆర్బిట్ and Leo, low earth orbit. So what is the difference between the Leo and the geo earth orbit? చెప్పారన్నారు కదా, మర్చిపోయారా?
ఎర్త్ అబ్జర్వేషన్ కి లోయర్ థర్డ్ వాడుతుంది సార్. ఎందుకంటే క్లియర్ ఫోటోస్ వస్తాయి. క్లియర్ ఫోటోస్ కోసం లోయర్ థర్డ్ వాడుతుంది. నావిగేషన్ కోసం.
So all the observation things, for observation purpose, we use the low earth orbit because we can see the things very clearly. For the navigation purpose, we use the higher orbits like the geo earth orbit. So what is the distance to Earth? The geo earth orbit distance, like from here. Not sure. It was around 36,000 kilometers from the ground. Yeah. And how about the Leo? Low earth orbit. 10 to 15,000. వేసుకుందాం, 10 to 15,000 వేసుకుందాం.
3,000.
This is the low earth orbit distance. These are just in imaginary places. Orbits are not like it's not some designated. Just we kept some signs to keep our objects there. These are just our imaginary things. So there is not exactly that low earth orbit or the geostation, nothing like that. The places, we kept some marks to keep the objects there. So what is the benefit of keeping these navigation satellites in the geo earth orbit means, here the satellite, it moves around 3 km per second speed. 3 km per second. So that is which exactly the speed of Earth. That is exactly the speed of Earth. So it will together, they will rotate. So whenever you see the satellite, it is always fixed to that point. Geosynchronous orbit. But in the Leo orbit, so it is usually 7 to 9 km per second. Very close, and they revolve very fast. So this NISAR is an Earth observation satellite. So why this is very unique? So what is the uniqueness of this NISAR? What is the uniqueness of this NISAR? So check sun synchronous.
You can take all weather photos day and night.
Day and night, there are so many satellites which you can take day and night photos.
L-band, S-band.
Yeah, this is the first satellite which has the dual frequency. That is L-band and S-band. So what exactly mean this L-bands and S-bands? Just facts. But first, this L-band radar was supplied by NASA. And S-band was ISRO. So the L-band radar, which works around 1 to 2 gigahertz. Yeah. It used to go deeper into the subsurfaces. So, how we can say? Yeah. If this is the surface, it will only cover the small area, but it goes into deeper because it has the low frequency. And yeah, the depth is more in the L-band radar. But in case of ISRO's S-band, it won't go deeper, but it covers the larger area. Higher surface area, it covers the higher surface area. So that is the basic difference between the L-band and S-band. So they combined these both, and the first time they made one satellite with the dual frequencies, both combining the L-band and S-band. So that is the main feature of this NISAR satellite. So with this, they can generate the high resolution pictures.
So what is the wavelength?
What is the? So for these, I think 2 to 4. 2 to 4 gigahertz. So with these kind of things, the L band and S band, they can make the high resolution images. ఇంకా మీకు క్లియర్ గా చూపించాలి అంటే
So frequency ఎక్కువ ఎక్కువ depth ఉంటుంది.
yeah frequency frequency ఎక్కువ ఉంటే ఎక్కువ డెప్త్ అది. You know the blue shift, red shift. What is the blue shift and yeah, red shift when something like for example when the ambulance is coming near to you. When the ambulance is coming near, the Doppler effect. Idea on the Doppler effect? మీరు ఇంటర్మీడియట్ లో ఉంటుంది కదా Doppler effect. మర్చిపోయాము. Doppler effect is very important question. చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ క్వశ్చన్ Doppler effect. So yeah, you can see this, how they continuously emit the radio waves and it will receive. So like that, continuously it will generate and they will get some better picture. So more clear picture, right? So that is the how this NISAR satellite will work. That is the technology of synthetic aperture radar. So usually the radar ki enta pedda dish unte, the dish will be there, right? Enta pedda dish unte anta manchi resolution teesukochu. The aperture will be there, right? The aperture, the big, that is called aperture. So if that is big, they can collect the more radio samples back. But like the plate enta pedda aithe anta ekku water pattukochu kada dantlo. Similarly, if the aperture is too wide, then it can receive the more number of radio signals. But here, there is not that big aperture is there. So they artificially created the aperture, that is synthetic aperture. So how this will collect that much big data was by rotating around the earth. So it will cover the whole earth in 12 days. So NISAR satellite will cover the whole earth in 12 days. It continues, it can map all the earth. It is like a MRI scan. How the MRI scan will work. So similarly, it is kind of the MRI scan of earth. It can do continuous imaging. So అర్థమైంది కదా మీకు ఎలా వర్క్ అవుతుంది. This is the yeah. But what is the benefits of this SAR? This is obviously an Earth observation satellite, right? So how it benefits the mankind? Because it's a open source satellite. The whole world can access the data.
See through the natural resources.
It can see through the natural resources. But compared to the natural resources, more it works on the climate changes. Climate changes, glacier melting, natural hazards, yeah, everything. So glacier melting. ఇంకే ఉండొచ్చు forest fires. ఇంకా so these kind of applications were there. Even they can use for military applications, defense applications also they can use this kind of technology, the SAR technology. So that is a little synopsis of NISAR. So it launched in which vehicle? GSLV. It carries heavy objects. And GSLV there is two types. 3 types, I think. Huh? So how many launch vehicles currently ISRO has? So what are the names? PSLV? Small satellite launch vehicle. Yeah. So what is the simple question. So what is the maximum weight of the satellite which India can take into the geostationary orbit? What is the maximum weight of the satellite using any kind of vehicle, the topmost vehicle you can take to the geostationary orbit? 4,000. 4,000. Maybe it's hardly, even I don't know, man, maybe 300-400 kgs, not more than that. Satellite, yeah. Maybe it was, yeah. That's why they used GSLV. So 2,300 kgs. Yeah. So next, Trump's 25% tariff penalty to hit India. What is his main motto? Make America great again. So why you always heard? So first understand the concept why Trump is levying so much taxes on the world countries. They want to maintain hegemony, that's why. But he also get the reciprocation, right? The reciprocation. Maybe you didn't read the world history. There is one incident called the Great Economic Depression.
They gave loans and
The Great Depression. It was happened in 1929. Similar case. When you read these stories, it remembers you that scenario. That time, same thing happened. So, 1929, lot of production was so much increased that everyone have lot of goods and they don't know where to sell. No market. So, production is more, supply is more, demand is less. So, what happened? So, US stopped taking the imports from other countries or levied so much taxes. So, what other countries did? So, they also levied taxes on US. So, global economy was collapsed. That is a great economic depression. You will read in the world history. But his main motto, what is his main motto of levying taxes on, especially targeting the global south countries and the major global south countries? So you know the difference between the global north and global south? So what is the difference? Developed and developing countries.
So not south countries need to export children
Then why America is called as a global north country? It's not like that. So usually the countries in the northern hemisphere, especially the European countries, these are all the countries, mostly developed countries. So that's why they used to just to refer. And the southern countries like Africa and little Asian countries, they are not so developed and developing countries. That's why they use some general classification of global north and global south. Usually the global north means the countries which are developed countries. And the global north means the countries which are developing or underdeveloped countries. In the developed or in the developing countries, what are the major countries? In the global south, what are the major countries? China, India, Brazil, South Africa. So these kind of countries are global south countries, major global south countries. So one of his, here they have given some graph. Even in the mains exams, when you draw these kind of graphs, you will have at least a half or 1 mark extra. So don't hesitate to draw graphs in your answer sheets. So here from the graphs, what we can understood. The top 5 exports to US from India. So what are the top 5? Electrical machinery, pharmaceutical products, nuclear machinery, pearls, precious stones, mineral fuels. These are the top 5 exports India is exporting to US. So now he levied the 25% tariff from tomorrow, August 1st. From the August 1st. The main motive was to coerce the Russia to come into peace talks with Ukraine. Because with the Russia, who are the people doing more business? India, China, and especially the global south countries. Even the Europe also taking lot of gas, natural gas from Russia. So that is one of the reason he said to, here you can see. Also they have always bought a vast majority of their military equipment from Russia and are Russia's largest buyer of energy along with China. At a time when everyone wants Russia to stop the killing in Ukraine, all things not good. India will therefore be paying a tariff of 25% plus a penalty for the above, starting on August 1st. So this is the tweet from Trump. So this is the Trump's tweet. So from this we understood that he is going to implement the taxes from tomorrow. But by the fall, this article says by the fall. By the fall means? So what are the 4 seasons especially for these temperate countries? Fall, spring, winter, and summer. These are the 4 seasons. So you should, so even you guys apply for the foreign universities. You have 2 admissions in a year. One is in August, that is fall admission. And one is you will get admission in the March. Admissions will start from December, but your admission will be from the February ending or the March. That is the time for the spring season. So that those are admissions are spring admissions. So that is one thing. You see, whenever there is some kind of advertisements like this is some advertisement about the Uttarakhand. So whenever you see in your newspaper, just use some special place and you have to know the minimum basic details of each and every state in India. At least the basic details. What is the Uttarakhand? What is its importance towards India? You don't need to read the advertisement. But whenever you see the, and cover all the 28 states. 28 or 29? 28 states. So why this Uttarakhand has one special name? What is that special name? Uttarakhand is called Devabhumi. Devabhumi. The Chardham Yatra. Chardham Yatra. So what are the Chardham? Kedarnath, Badrinath, Yamunotri, Gangotri. So this is called Chardham. And the Chardham is the place in Uttarakhand. Chota Chardham. So like that, whenever you see some news, maybe now you are coming to the class, but when you start your real preparation, this is not the real preparation, obviously. So very soon, once you finish your PCM, you will start the real preparation. And then whenever you read the newspaper, cover each and every state, at least the basic synopsis. You should know at least what is the population of Sikkim. So what is the population of Sikkim? Huh? 5 lakhs. The population of Sikkim. 5 to 10 lakhs, yeah, but they have one MP seat also. So like that, you should cover each and every state and also the union territory. You should have the basic, that is the general knowledge, right? You should have that kind of a general knowledge. What is their nickname? And Kerala is called God's own country. So like that kind of taglines also, you should also remember. and here. So no threat to Indian coasts. So there are earthquakes in Russia, Kuril Islands, especially the Kuril Islands region where they had the earthquakes. So where these Kuril Islands are located? So this can be the hint, like in the prelims, the questions may come. Kuril Islands are located which part of Russia? At least the map pointing questions you must know. Whenever there is some places are in the global events, so you should know in which place this Kuril Islands located. So Russia is a vast country, right? So which side of the Russia this earthquake happened? Is it in the place of Ring of Fire? Pacific Ring of Fire, is this place located or not? So what is the significance of Pacific Ring of Fire? High earthquake zones. High earthquake and volcanic zone. Why exactly the high earthquakes and volcanic activities happen in this zone? You should know these are the basic concepts. Whenever you see some volcanic eruption or the earthquake, you should check whether it is located in these sensitive zones, especially that Pacific Rim of Fire. Pacific Rim of Fire. So the Indian National Center for Ocean Information Services. So this organization which tells about which gives the warnings about tsunami. So this organization is very important, which gives the tsunami early warning center, like which houses these gives whenever India has a probability to receive a tsunami. This is a nodal agency. The nodal agency which gives the early warning. So when tsunami is coming. So this is also very important. This organization, Indian National Center for Ocean Information Services. So it tells that the east coast of Kamchatka and Kuril Islands. So they have the earthquakes of 8.7 magnitude and 6.5 magnitude. So you should also see the location where these Kuril Islands are located. And you see here we have the news of earthquakes and they have given one article here. Just wait. Maybe it is loading little, it will take little time. There is an article about wetlands, mangrove forest, especially the mangrove forest. They have given a big article about the mangrove forest. What is the connection between these earthquakes, tsunamis and this mangrove forest? Why? How exactly? That is correct, exact. On to the point. How this mangrove forest stops these tsunamis, especially.
Mangrove forests have huge trees, so their roots are very deep.
The trees are not so huge.
Their roots
are very strong. The roots are very strong and very deep, and they hold the soil. Especially the coastal lines. The coastal lines. When tsunami comes, what exactly mean by tsunami?
High water, high waves.
How it will form.
When earthquake is ocean.
Exactly. So earthquakes, when there is earthquakes have happened in ocean, so the tsunamis are formed. Tsunamis are nothing but displacement of water. ఒక ప్లేస్ లో ఉండాల్సిన వాటర్ డిస్ప్లేస్ అయ్యి ఇంకో చోటకి వెళ్తుంది. వెళ్ళేటప్పుడు అది వేవ్ ఫామ్ లో వెళ్తుంది కాబట్టి ఇట్ విల్ టేక్ హ్యూజ్ వాటర్ అలాంగ్ విత్ ఇట్. అంతే సింపుల్. సో బకెట్ లో ఎన్నైతే వాటర్ ఉంటాయి అన్నే వాటర్ ఉంటాయి. బట్ ఒక చోట ఉండాల్సిన వాటర్ ఇంకో చోటకి వెళ్తుంది అంతే. టైడ్ like waves, the huge tsunami waves. What is this? Second by bridge. లేదే అయిపోయింది టైం కూడా. ఇట్ వాజ్ ఓవర్ ఆల్మోస్ట్. బికాస్ దట్ ఆర్టికల్ ఈస్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. దిస్ mangrove forest conservation is very important. Because of this earthquake happened in the Russia. So the article was written based on the mangroves. So if you protect the mangroves, and the mangroves will protect you from the tsunamis, especially the coastal tsunamis. So they have taken some measures to improve this mangrove forest. So they have given all these things for the environmental purpose, environmental subject. So that article is important.